Welcome back to the Totally Legitimate Business Podcast. It is your hosts, Clint and James. And Clint, how you doing this week, buddy?
Holler. I'm doing good. I'm a little tired, but I have no excuse because I'm in between jobs right now. So it's like a winter break.
Why are you so tired?
Well, when you reach a certain age and you're tired of following the rules, sometimes you take some liberties with yourself and your body, and you push it to the limit, right?
Oh, yeah.
Past
the point of no return to, or just to the limit?
I mean, I'm returned. This is me coming back.
Okay.
This is the return of the Mac.
This is oh, all right.
Yes, I did.
Oh my God.
Well, no, on Friday I drove down to Portland with Nurser to go like work merch and like hang out with those dudes.
Sick.
Which was wild. Saturday I went out to another show, stayed out too late, but I was having a damn good time.
That'll happen to you.
Dude, Friday was nuts, right? So we drove from Seattle to Portland, which is like usually like if there's no traffic, it's like 3.5 hours or so.
Yeah. Not bad.
There was traffic.
Oh, cool.
It was Friday afternoon and we can't get our shit together and we left late. But got to the show on time and everything. Show's cool. It was in this really like sick basement bar. Saw some friends. All the other bands were good. Just like a sick grind show. And then driving back at 11 o'clock. As you can imagine, we had fun loading out on the street next to like bars where there's like strip clubs and shit. So like some dude comes up, he's like, "Oh, you in a metal band? Yeah, I like As LA Dying." And then he tries to grab one of the guitars, and I had to Hulk out on him. And one of the Nurser members was a little tuned up, and he was just like, "Hey man, don't." So I had to like Hulk out on the dude and do my like death metal yell, and I was like, "Put the fucker down!" And like freaked out, and then his two boys like came up behind him, and I was like, "Oh God!" And luckily, the bouncer for the strip club came out, and he was like, "Is there a problem?" And I was like,
"Amazing,
no, they were just leaving."
That's the first time. That's the first time you've ever been happy to see a strip club bouncer. Dude, guaranteed.
Absolutely. So, anyways, we're all tired and doing or whatever. So we're driving back, and then just immense fog happens halfway through the drive back. So it's it's like 2 a.m. We're all just like dead meat, and this fog, we can't see, no joke, like 10, 15 feet in front of the van. So we're just like going, we're like, oh God, but there's nobody else on the road. Real crazy. And then we all just start feeling weird. And we're like, what the fuck is going on? Let's pull off at this truck stop, whatever. We get off at this truck stop. It's usually packed, not a soul. There's nobody in there at all. And it just felt very like eerie because it was just foggy.
Wait. How often are you at this fucking gas station? Do you know
it's the one
tonight is the night where nobody's there?
It's the one that I stop at like every time because it's about halfway. And it's like it's a Love's truck stop. Have you ever been to a Love's?
I have, and they are memorable establishments. But how often are you going there realistically? Like realistically?
I mean, bro, it's like a big truck stop. It's like about halfway, and like they have a big parking lot, and it's usually full. And now, given I'm not there at 2 o'clock in the morning a bunch, but still, you would think that there would be somebody else there at this.
Not on this lonely stretch of road
on a Friday night. No, dude.
Large margins.
Shout out to the Love's truck stop on Rush Road in Washington.
Oh my God, dude.
But dude, no, we get inside, and then one of the dudes, like I said, he's a little tuned up, so he's like walking around. Just we're laughing at all the American flag shit, whatever. And then all of a sudden, all these alarms start going off, and there's one person working. But so like all these alarms start going off, and then all of the like, attendant needed at truck stop 1, attendant needed at truck stop 1, attendant needed at Carl's Jr. And they all go off simultaneously, and we're all just like, what the fuck is going on? And then the lady just sits there and she's like, I've never heard that before. And we're like, oh God. So like, we're just feeling real weird. And I get back in the van. The one member of Nurser, who's going to remain nameless just for his dignity intact, I was like, where the fuck is he? Ran back inside to go grab him. And the sentence that was coming out of his mouth, I think he meant well, but it was imagine you're working at a truck stop at 2 o'clock in the morning, worrying about possibly being robbed or something.
Yeah.
The sentence that I walk up to him saying
Oh
to her
God.
was,
Oh God.
because he means well. He's a peaceful guy, but he was like, oh no, it's not a threat. I'm just saying you better watch out. And I was like, all right,
Oh
because I think he was
no.
trying to say, watch out for these crazies. But he is
Oh
the crazy.
no.
So I was like, let's go. And then as we're leaving, all the alarms start going off.
Yeah, exactly. Time to leave.
And then
Dude, that's incredible.
Didn't need it. And
That's
then
incredible.
we get back in the van, and I was like, I think we died in the fog. Like,
yeah, I was gonna
we died
say
in the fog.
it honestly sounds like a halfway decent found footage horror film.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like the first 20 minutes, like the bait, the real.
And then I woke up in my bed.
Yeah,
no, we didn't get home till like 4 a.m. So I was just
Yeah.
fried. It fucked up my sleep schedule. So, anyways, that's that fun story. Oh, that went on for a while. James, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. I didn't immediately begin with talking about Nazis. I asked you how you were doing this time first.
Well, now it's my turn. Like I wanted to
Just,
talk about me and
yeah.
my.
Well, and
possible
to be fair, I wanted to give you that moment. So
I might still be dead. I think that it could be a dream. I don't know.
How do we know?
That DMT pumping through my veins.
Yeah.
Felt like a lifetime, man.
Well, you guys smoke salvia? You smoke salvia, didn't you? You smoked salvia.
Dude, I don't even know where to get that anymore. Can you
fucking spare me? You can get that at smoke shops now. That's bullshit.
Bro, in Washington,
I can't get salvia. Don't lie to me. Don't fucking lie to me.
Portland, where like drugs are legal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hard drugs. Like, you think we're going?
I mean, weed's legal there, isn't it?
Weed's legal?
Yeah, in Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, salvia is like less intense than weed. It's been viewed less intense than weed for a while. Like even in conservative states, you could get salvia at any smoke shop.
Yeah, but like, I don't think they even sell that here. Like, why would they? We just have weed. It's legal.
Well, some people want salvia. Yeah. You know, you're going to have to smoke a lot of weed. You're going to have to smoke a lot of weed to get transported to a different dimension for 15 minutes. Okay. Just a little bit of salvia will take you there. So
it was just the fog, dude. The fog.
It's a Stephen King novel.
It was actually just a whole cloud of salvia.
Oh my God. Yeah, that explains it. Honestly, and that's not even like that's totally plausible.
And everything turned geometric and just went.
Yeah. Fish started playing in the background. Whoa, dude.
I'm just at a truck stop. Just we're just threatening gas station attendants.
With puke all over your shirt, you know. I think, dude. Honestly, like I think it's funny. Isn't it funny how we always get stuck with someone who is the person who's saying the wrong thing at the wrong time,
dude?
Like how we have always been the person who's just like, bro, you can't say that like that. Ugh, God damn it. Now we have a problem.
And actually, no, I've been that person several times.
That's what I'm saying.
Really hard to
this is what I'm saying now, but it's like poetic justice that you have to fucking deal with it now.
Oh yeah. I just attract the crazy now. That's just what happens.
No, it wasn't a threat. No. I'm not the crazy. They're the crazies. I'm cool.
He apparently said something to her, and then she said, "Was that a threat?" And she said, "Oh no, that's not a threat. I'm just saying you better watch out." Oh. I fucking lost
that
it.
Is gold.
Lost it. Anyways, what's salvia? Let's talk about salvia.
Yeah, no, let's not talk about salvia. It's not that interesting.
If anybody's out there doing salvia, please stop. Just go do something better.
You can do other things now. It used to be the only option, right?
I'd rather you do like jankum than salvia.
I mean, really? Well, all right, that's fair.
Well, yep, that's just how we do. Dude, what's been going on? What'd you do this weekend?
Well, I've just been, working on this, working on that. I've also been watching a fair amount of all of like the fallout from Prince Harry, Meghan Markle. They did their Netflix show, right? And the latest episodes that came out were like some super controversial things were said about the royal family, but they really wasn't. It was like towing the line. But I've just seen a lot of people talk about that. Been seeing a lot of that. I'm also, it's weird, like the convergence of things, right? So there's a lot of talk about that, but then there's also like a new season of that show, The Crown. And I've heard a bunch of people, some people who have been into it the whole time, some people who are just starting it, a lot of just like, in the periphery, just a lot of talk about the royals and the scandals of the royals and the history of the royals, the accuracy of that history.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not up on, like, the only kings and queens I know are like Game of Thrones shit, and that just seems way more interesting.
Well, I mean,
but I can also see in their bed chambers. So
right. To be fair, there's a lot of nudity in Game of Thrones, right? There's a lot of intimate details that you wouldn't get otherwise. But from like the lens of I'm gonna connive my way through all of these family members to get my seat on the throne, like it's 100% accurate. I mean, dude, the shit that the royal families have done to members of their own family are fucking savage, especially like medieval times, bro.
Oh yeah, because you could just cut people's heads off.
Yeah, for no reason. Yeah. Like some a king died. Somebody didn't want his children becoming king. They just killed the children, and then somebody else would take the throne. Like it was Game of Thrones level savagery for sure.
I mean, James, if this was medieval times, I would have gone medieval on your ass. Like you'd already be dead. I'd probably be dead 3 times already. So it's fine.
Yeah, definitely. We would have made it. Maybe to 16.
Yeah.
But they're brutal, and it's like just recently that they had. I mean, it was really with the advent of radio and TV and images being propagated en masse in that way that made them even start to be conscious of we have to be aware of what the people think about us. And then that starts, from the early 1900s to where they are now, where it's like they're basically, they're like a corporation. They have like a press office. It's like a heavily controlled stream of media and flow of information in that closed circles. Same thing with like the White House, exact same comparison.
Yeah, and the whole thing is like they get don't they get like a bunch of, like, at least like the British royal family, they get like tax breaks or something because it's like they bring in tourism, like they get money from the country every year. They're the richest fucking people for centuries.
I'm not sure exactly how that scheme works, but I do know that there is like they get paid in the sense that they're a dignitary for the country, right? They have a lot of wealth. The family is a rich, very, very rich family. But they also receive money from the crown, and that relationship used to be more in their favor, and it's less in their favor now, but still greatly in their favor. And there's a concept where the taxpayers in Britain, the common phrase is "we pay, you pose." So like there's this subtext of, because the taxpayer underwrites the life of the royals and allows them to live lavishly and act as the envoy from Britain globally, in return, the public expects at least the ability to peer somewhat inside of that world, and it's strange, dude. In the same way that people here love their politicians, people there love the royal family. And it just has never made any sense to me, because what the fuck did they do for you? Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Especially
nothing.
Especially at this point. Like at a certain point, it's like, yeah, you live in the kingdom, and we make sure that everybody in the kingdom is fed and protected from invaders.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Your head's not falling off today.
Yeah, really. The fucking 1,000 horse army isn't gonna burn and pillage the city today.
That's
crossed,
what I'm paying for.
Again, back in the day, that was the agreement. Like, you live in the kingdom, right? I take care of you, but you're my subjects. But I provide you protection and food or place to live, whatever. But that's, I mean, a lot of people, it's just like ingrained in them from generations of people living that way. And just, it's never made sense to me. It's never made sense to me here with the way people love their fucking politicians, but it really never made sense to me looking at the way people in the UK love the royal family. It's very strange.
Yeah, I don't get that either. But I'm also
it's a weird idol worship, you know.
I've actually never been to GB or UK. I don't know, whatever it is now. So I don't really have a lot of frame of reference for it, but I just feel like it's just like OG America, right? Like I feel like London's probably just like New York, and it's like, okay, but it's just the food's worse, and I don't know. I can't really say that, but that's just what I hear. Stereotypes.
Wow. Are you fucking American?
Do we have anybody that we can bring?
Oh my God.
Who do we know that's from foggy London town?
I don't know if I know anybody directly from foggy London town. I definitely have a buddy in the,
I was going to say Ian from Claw the Thin Ice. We could try to call him.
Oh yeah, he would know.
What time is it over there right now?
Yeah, totally reasonable for us to call him randomly right now and ask him why all of the people in Britain love the royal family. I'm sure he'll know. I'm sure they teach him at the schools. So
he'd be like, "You haven't talked to me in 6 months, and you call me for this shit
at 2 a.m. It's never made sense to me, dude. It's it blows my mind. It never ceases to amaze me when I see the dumb look on people's faces when they're looking at their, whoever it is. They just like, the rules don't apply here. There's no reason for him to be this, gift, but he's here. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. What have they done for you? What have they done for you?
Especially now, in these last few generations, because it wasn't even the king. Like it was like prime ministers are the ones that are, well, at least on paper. And again, I don't know. You probably have some thoughts on all that stuff, but
sure.
It's not like the royal family was doing anything for anybody, really.
No. Themselves, they were doing it for themselves for sure. They're supposed to not have any political influence. They just serve political messenger roles. But I'm sure that in some way they wield some authority. I mean, even just with the wealth of the family, the wealth and the
own things that are in the interest of the government.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's absolutely what I'm saying. I'm sure that the rabbit hole goes deep if you go scratching around there. I'm sure that is part of the agenda. I mean, it's like a corporation. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me why. Bro, they just suck all the money from all these countries, and they suck all the money, and it comes back to this one family, and that family, they'll sprinkle a little bit of it around, but most of it stays with them, and all those other countries, all that money just gets sucked out.
Yeah, I always find it wild that they're like, oh, the queen or the prince is doing a goodwill visit to whatever X country. It's like, oh hey, remember 200 years ago when you just colonized that country and erased their culture and tried to
remember when we enslaved all of these people. But we come by to say hello every now and then.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? What have they done? What have they done for you? Doesn't make sense to me.
They showed you how to be classy.
Did they?
They showed you that the salad fork is on the left. Is that true? I don't even know.
I don't know either, and you
better figure it out.
Dude. I'm like, sure. Why?
There's no bores.
That is correct. There's no scenario where I need to sit down with the royal family. There's no scenario.
I've never been in a scenario where I've had to sit down and have multiple, been confused by the cutlery.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was going to say. I've never been in a scenario where I have been judged for using the incorrect fork. And if I were ever to be in a scenario where someone were to judge me for using the incorrect fork, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care at all.
You would behead them.
I would behead them. I would behead them with the olive fork, though. I'd use the appropriate fork for that one.
I'd take you into the town square, put you in the stockades. And then,
your sentence is death.
Yeah. Scoop your eyes out with the oyster spoon.
Melon baller. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Melon baller.
See, we can get creative with this shit. But they're savage, dude. They shit all over their subjects. They shit all over each other. That's the part that's so funny to me. Is like the outside world looks at them and thinks like, oh my gosh, it must be such a fairy tale to be a part of the royal family. No, they are miserable. They've been miserable for generations. They're generationally miserable. And they like pit each other against each other and are always like stabbing and poking and trying to get into the queen's graces. It's like that show Succession, HBO. Have you seen that?
No.
So it's modeled after the Murdoch family. Rupert Murdoch, the owner of Fox, his kids were like constantly kind of vying to be the person that took over the company, and he was always like pitting them against each other to see who would be the most savage one and end up on top. It's kind of the same thing. They're fucking sick individuals. They're very sick individuals.
They say more money, more problems, right?
Yeah, exactly right. That's what he was talking about.
He was talking.
That's exactly what he was talking about.
The British royal family winning the lottery and being born into that family instead of as like a sick dog in India.
Yeah,
and that's it.
That's why it was so profound. But yeah, they're fucked, dude. They're just like all just, and this is what I'm telling you. Like if you just started reading back even into the recent history of of that royal family in particular, it gets dirty so quick. Like murders, fucking members of the royal family who were also Nazi supporters during World War II. There's like a bunch of connection there because the Windsor family, which is what the royals in the UK, that's what they say their name is. Their name is actually German name. It's Saxon Coburg Gotha, but that's like another line of royals from Germany, Austria, that area, and a lot of those families, because of protecting the bloodline, they've kind of like married together. So like the Saxon Coburg Gotha families have representatives in royal families of most European countries, and all the countries that still have royal families, they're like a prominent member just because the family was so big. But it may have been World War I. I don't think it was World War II. It may have been World War II though. Because of the Nazi Germany connection, they changed their name to Windsor. But they were one generation away from, fucking blood relative Nazis. And a couple English royals like straight up became Nazis, like in Germany, Nazis.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. But all those families, all I mean to say is all those families are super intertwined. And that's why if you go back into the history, there's a lot of funny stories about kings that are born like super deformed because they were just the product of so many lines of incest.
Weird incest.
Yeah. Some of them were like the last of the line. Like that was the last kid that got spit out, and it was so genetically fucked that it couldn't even reproduce. And, it like couldn't talk, it couldn't chew. I can't remember which king it is. It's, I think one of the kings of Spain, but that's what I'm saying. Like, they're sick individuals. They have had it twisted for so long. There's also like this really strange thread that you can kind of get down from a number of different angles, but it kind of boils down to, there's a whole legend that, like, if we're talking about like the Da Vinci Code, right? The Knights Templar, codes hidden in art, revealing a secret, right? There's a conspiracy thread that says the bloodline, like Jesus was begotten of God, like of a being from outside this planet,
right?
And his blood, he had a son with Mary Magdalene or somebody else. Jesus's bloodline continued, and there's this argument that gets made by, a number of different angles will kind of lead you to this argument, but it's that the reason that the royal families were so strict about who they bred with was because somewhere down that family tree, they were tracing a direct bloodline connection to Christ.
Jesus of Nazareth.
Of Nazareth. Right. And that's the lie that they've been telling themselves to justify, we have to marry and reproduce with each other to keep our blood pure. But it led to like a bunch of problems. And though like real close relationships aren't married together anymore, obviously, it's still common for like cousins to that to be a thing.
Anytime the statement keep the blood pure gets into the situation,
yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
Never good. Like anytime right there must, like, even if it's like Harry Potter, any of that shit, it's like, oh no, that's not good.
Nope.
I don't want that.
I know where this is going. Okay. Yeah. I know where this is going, and I don't want any part of it. Yeah, I'm the same. It's the same. It is that mentality, and it explains it. It's like it's an unspoken subtext to why they behave the way that they do. And it's because they view themselves as
they're better than you.
Better than you. In my blood, Christ is in my blood. Christ is not in your blood. You're a mutt. So you serve me. Your job is to keep me as comfortable as possible so that I can continue having the blood of Christ. I mean, seriously, that's, and in the modern American landscape, it's kind of similar, but they don't necessarily have the bloodline thing. What a lot of those guys will do is, I was chosen by God, right? I don't have God's blood in me, but I was chosen by God to lead. That's how I got elected. I got elected because I was chosen by God. Now, I'm sure
my lineage back to Plymouth Rock or whatever.
Yeah, no, seriously. And that's what I was just going to say, is like the first, 100 years of our government, that played a part. It was like, you weren't going to get to be a certain position or a certain thing unless they could trace your family back to the fucking Mayflower. You know what I mean? And again, like how pure are you? How pure American are you? Are you one of these new immigrants, or are you off the boat?
I feel like
this is what I'm saying. It was a tie. That's where that, in my mind, that's where that comes from.
How did George W. Bush get into office? It wasn't his fucking brains.
Yeah, definitely not. It was his daddy for sure. But and memberships to certain clubs. Okay, that did play a part. But that was also part of it. Even this is a complete tangent, but like even all of those secret clubs at Yale that they're a part of, even those have been around since the foundation of Yale. That's a long fucking time ago. And these clubs have been funnels into specific areas of society. It's like a cheat code. And Skull and Bones is the most well-known one, but there's like tons. There's another really popular one, or real prominent one, is called Scroll and Key. The actor Paul Giamatti, he was from Scroll and Key. That's for people who want to pursue a life in like the arts, writing, entertainment. They'll join that. If they get invited, they'll join that club. And that's a, pretty clear funnel into an industry with baked in connections and nepotism, good old nepotism. Skull and Bones.
Why did I go to college for music when I could have just joined the club?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. They had to create these clever ways because they didn't have the royal blood story in America. How do we make it? How do we do that in America? How do we make sure that the only people that get into these certain positions come from a certain pedigree? And we have to build this fucking system. We build this vetting system and I mean, really, this isn't even a joke. Like the first 100 years of this government, can we trace your family back to Plymouth Rock? That was like a legitimate practice. And that is just a continuation of, can we trace you back to England? You know, it's not much has changed, but we came over here and we just do it slightly differently. So to your point, like you were saying before, it's exactly right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like all that's just like, you win the lottery from being born, and whatever your soul or your energy or your consciousness or whatever just goes into something, right? It could have just been a person who was going to starve in their first year of their life in, in some desolate country, but you just get born into just being the son of whoever, just like some rich dude, and then you're the pure blood. You're pure.
Well, the reason that it sounds like bullshit is because it is. We made the fucking whole thing up. We made it up. We wanted to feel special. People wanted to feel special. So they made up ways to make them feel special. And they kept making up ways to make them feel special until some asshole came up with the coup de grace idea of how to make yourself feel special. My blood is more pure than your blood.
Well, and that's why
that became the dictating rule of social interaction forever.
Well, and that's why they all deny like the theory of evolution and the traits that should be passed on just based off of like strength or attractiveness or whatever it is. Those people are not the strongest and most attractive people, and you can look at the royal
family. Yeah, they rarely are,
dude.
No, really, genetically, they are not the strongest gene pool. It's like if you were to analyze their blood, it would not be a strong and diverse gene pool.
Yeah, that gene pool's a little milky.
Yeah, at best, buddy.
I mean, and not saying that my bloodline is right as rain or anything, but. I mean, shoot.
Hey, no. We're not saying that. We have nothing to fucking prove. We're not saying that our blood is pure and that Christ's blood is in our blood. Of course we don't have shit to justify. There can be shit in my veins right now. It doesn't matter. I'm not going around saying that I'm better than you because the blood in me is better than you. We have nothing to feel bad for. That's all I'm trying to say here, Clint. We have nothing to feel bad for.
Oh, I don't feel bad.
They should feel bad for how limited their gene pool is.
They won't ever feel bad.
And dude, honestly, it's like, look, even if let's say that they aren't this way. Okay, let's say they are like truly compassionate people who truly care about something much bigger than themselves and would, if required, be willing to sacrifice all of their wealth for the betterment of everybody. We know this isn't true, but let's just say that they are. Based on just the scandals that have come out in the past year about Prince Andrew and the other members of the royal family involved in those special boys clubs.
I don't know anything about those, by the way.
Dude, Prince Andrew?
Yeah, I like seriously.
Prince Andrew. You didn't hear anything about Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that everybody that is at the top tier probably, there's always a picture of them and Jeffrey Epstein at some party in like 1999. So
sure.
But no, I don't know. I don't know about Prince, the scandals. Or
it's bad. It's bad for Prince Andrew, like really bad. Hard for him to deny. It's been like a huge scandal. That's been one of many of those types of scandals, including, like I was talking about before, murders, all sorts of like financial shit covered up. A lot of in between World War I and World War II, a lot of like strange covering ups of history or connection to Germany or people who had like swung really far Nazi. And it's like one of those things where just like objectively looking at them as a family, they're a shit family. Anyone should be able to see these people are fucks. They're all fucks. They're all rich, completely out of touch fucks who think that their blood is more pure than yours. But people they still love them. I don't understand how people can know all of those things and still be like, oh yes, but they're our royal family. Don't they represent us so well?
Well, it's not even there. It's here too. Like there's like an obsession with, the
politician,
like
the figurehead,
and like all the shows you just mentioned. It's like, obviously it's an interesting story, but I don't feel like people are interested in it from the fact of like, God, what pieces of shit these are. Cause like, if that was the case, they would just watch Jerry Springer and just watch like, like asshole or like It's Always Sunny. Just like watch people who are just like totally socially like
total degenerates. Yeah,
exactly. Right. But no, they're watching it because it's like, oh, this is like a symbol of class. I'm like, no, this is class warfare. Like,
like this classless. Yeah.
Like this is the shit that makes me want to burn it down, my dude.
Yeah, no, seriously. It's the same thing. Like I don't it's part of the reason why like I know we're doomed. It's part of the reason why I know we're doomed. Because people just fucking love their figurehead. They're not willing to give up the idea that person fucking lied to you. They did not tell you the truth. They do not care about you. But I think a lot of people are just going to believe that for forever. It doesn't matter how many scandals, doesn't matter how bad they fuck up. It doesn't matter how many times you put, tangible pieces of evidence of them committing fucking crimes. They don't care. They just don't care.
I mean, yeah, because it's out of the news cycle so quick, right? It's not like a big thing, right? They get distracted by something else super quick. Like those cover-ups that happen, like it's easy when you're connected to the media and everything else, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's easy to make things disappear when you control that narrative.
Yeah, a lot of spiders under that rug, been swept under there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Arachnophobia, the British version.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. There's a spider outside.
I'm not even going to try to do a bad British accent.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. There's an old British man living somewhere in my anus.
Wait, is that why your blood is more pure than mine?
No, trust me. Trust me, buddy. He's poisoned my blood. I poisoned my blood a long time ago. I replaced my blood with mayonnaise. It's just much easier to deal with than blood.
That's the American thing to do.
Sure is, buddy. But yeah, fuck the royal family. I don't care about the royal family. I don't care about the shitty old queen. I don't care about I honestly don't even care about the people that care about them because fuck them too. They're not like good people.
You sure know a lot more about it than I do. So
well, listen, that is fair. That is fair. But the only reason I do
is know about it for those reasons.
The only reason I do is because this information was very easy for me to find. I didn't have to go anywhere or do anything crazy search-wise to find this information.
You like to identify liars and thieves.
Well, honestly, I don't though. Like I don't. That is true. That is true. I don't care if you're being a scumbag as long as you're honest about your scumbaggery. Yeah. I might not like what you're doing, but I'll at least respect that you didn't fucking lie to me. But I'll agree with you. I just don't lie to me. Don't lie to me with facts that I can easily find with one Google search. That's where I'm at now. Like I'll even let some lying slide if it's a good fucking lie. Like if it takes me multiple days to unpack it, I'll be like, I gotta appreciate the thought that was put into this.
They really did a lot of work.
They really dressed this one up. It's really good.
What a tangled web you've weaved.
What a tangled web. Yeah. Tangled web they've spun, and I can't help but appreciate it. But when it's just sloppy. Like when I can easily prove what you just said was wrong, fuck you. How disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like, and but they do that because it works on most people. Most people don't do one Google search. Most people won't look one click further on a link, but I will. Especially if you piss me off, buddy. I'll spitefully click on every single fucking link in the world if I have to.
And that's also why your computer is just filled with malware, and I've been spying on you.
Oh my God, buddy. I put on a show for you guys.
Don't worry. When you die, I have a button that'll automatically delete your search history.
Dead man switch, fucking perfect, dude.
Doomsday device.
Hell yeah.
That's our pact.
Yeah, that never bothered me. But people would always say that, especially like around like Patriot Act times when like the concept was first being thought about for a lot of people. It never bothered me. It's like, dude, they already own. If you think that they weren't collecting your fucking search history and your data,
everybody's selling your data.
Yeah, they were fucking doing that from the moment the internet turned on. Okay,
like call center people know about you. It's not even just the government. Like people have just been selling off personal information since the internet became monetized.
Oh my God, dude, that was so funny. Like we're in this weird window generation wise because we witnessed the times before cell phones and the times with cell phones now, and it's so funny. You and I have just been kind of ruthless saying it for at least a decade at this point, where it's like, you're telling me that you're gonna go off the grid. You're telling me you're gonna go off the grid, and that you can outsmart the government with your cell phone in your pocket. I haven't the people
Everyone's
that would always
anarchist. Everyone's an anarchist till the phone
exactly
goes.
No, exactly. everyone that would say that to me are people that I would have never seen camping. You know what I mean? Like there's like, you have no idea. You're what if it's just so funny to me that like they said that in 2001 with the Patriot Act. They talked about it, and then it was a thing. They talked about it a lot. As a kid, I remember it being a topic of conversation, but nobody cared until Edward Snowden leaked it like 14 years later. And then everyone like, oh my God, they were doing this. And it's like, they fucking said they were going to do it.
They said they were doing it. Yeah.
And they were probably doing it before then, but then they just made the rules so that they could be like, well, now we legally can do this.
Yeah.
It's just, it's funny. It's funny to me that people will still get on that train of like, oh, I'm going to outsmart them. No, you're not. You're completely ensnared. Unless you were living off the grid pre-1985, you're fucked. They got you. We're tagged. But it's never bothered me. That's where this whole thing started. It's never bothered me because, like, whatever. I already know if someone's going to audit my if someone's going to audit my search history, it's just going to make me laugh. If there's ever a scenario where I'm like being interrogated and they're like, why were you watching, this random video and then this random video and then a completely unrelated random video, it's going to bring me joy. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to be like, you watch 10 videos about JFK's assassination, then you watch 20 videos about Nazis fleeing to Argentina, and then you watched a bunch of videos about the murdered Pope conspiracy. And I'm just going to have to be like, yeah,
your
sure
answer
did.
Like, why did you watch this? Like, because I'm not a sports fan.
Oh my God, that's genius, dude. And accurate.
Yeah.
If they had me strapped up to the lie detector, I'd pass. Because it wouldn't even be a lie.
I mean, I don't know. I bet you could get into cricket or something.
No, I don't need to.
Football with the rest of the world calls football?
No, because I'm probably going to find something out about the history of that sport that's going to deeply upset me, and then everybody else I tell about it. And then
you're just going to ruin it for everybody else.
And then I'll be kicked out for ruining the fun. Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to save everybody the trouble, and I'll spoil that thing on my own. I'll learn about it, and it just so happens that very few of the things that I start reading about, I find good things. about. It's coincidence. I don't do that intentionally. I would love if some of the shit that I read about like ended happy. Like, oh, that's nice. That's cool. I think Brendan Fraser might be the only one where we have a fucking Cinderella ending.
I sure hope so. I'm rooting for you, Brendan.
He's a good guy. Everyone just needs to give him another goddamn chance.
Let's go, Brendan.
He didn't do anything wrong.
He was in The Mummy. Encino Man? Come on.
Bedazzled? Wait, was that the movie?
I thought that was Will Ferrell.
Maybe it was.
I'm bad at movies too.
Yeah, then that era too. It is what it is. But okay, so just to recap, fuck the Royals and fuck what was the point? What was the point of this?
Spiders, milk, cricket, Patriot Act.
Oh yeah, sure. Fuck sports. Fuck the Patriot Act. Fuck it all.
Patriots.
Fuck it all. Fuck the Patriots. Which I can say with impunity because I don't care.
What do you care about?
It's a good question. I ask myself that sometimes. And honestly, you know what it is, dude? I like a fucking story. buddy. Even with sports, like I don't want to watch a game, but I'm mildly interested in watching like a docuseries about someone's life because it's a story.
Yeah.
I get a story, right? Me watching every day of their life, that sounds boring as fuck. I don't want to watch every game they played. Show me the highlights. That's the benefit of the story. That's what I care about. I care about stories.
Then James, do I have a world for you where everything is 15 seconds and instant gratification? You're going to love it. By the way, you can find Totally Legitimate Business on TikTok, where we boil down the greatest hits of every company.
Hey, listen, we get at least a minute there. I think with TikTok you can even go longer, but I just keep it at a minute.
Bro, nobody's gonna watch those.
Yeah, I mean, no one cares. No one cares. Add it to the list of things that I'm putting out that nobody cares about. So let's keep it coming, I guess.
I didn't know you're still putting out, so that's nice.
I'm putting out as often as possible. There's an old British man that lives in my anus, and he I need to like air him out occasionally. Got to give him some, fresh smells.
I did find a picture of him with Jeffrey Epstein in 1999. So just so you know,
now so many things make a lot more sense. We don't need to go into this into great detail, but there's another one. Bro, all the things that were known about Jeffrey Epstein, and people still they're letting it slide. It's just so weird. It's like people are all about reform and change until you start talking about some real difficult subjects.
Yeah.
And then nobody wants to have those difficult conversations because they're hard. And we just will let that shit boil under the surface until it bubbles up again, and then
look,
same thing, forget about it again.
Every powerful political figure has a kill count because of something like that, right?
For sure.
They know about it. And
there's some skeletons. Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah, for me, that one was just like the most obvious and the one that was to date probably the most wide known. And I expected that to be right. And again, if you remember when this happened, it was right around the time that there were a bunch of other similar movements that were gaining steam. And for me, it was like, if there was ever a time for light to be shed on that, it would have been then. But when it went away, it's like, it's just going to continue. It's going to continue.
If that thread started unraveling, like life as you know it would be over. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It would be chaos in the streets. Yeah, for sure.
Somebody would switch into full defense mode and
for sure,
like
pressing the button. Yeah, pressing the buttons.
Yeah, and then everything's over.
Yeah,
and I don't know if I'm ready for the ending just yet. Like, there's still a couple things I want to do. I know.
I mean, look.
But
I'll agree with you. If we're gonna end it over something, it's not gonna be Jeffrey Epstein.
no.
Okay.
No.
If we're gonna end it over something, it's gonna have to be something cool like zombie apocalypse, comet,
We've talked about
comet,
this
zombie apocalypse.
Yeah,
Massive tidal wave, another ice age. The robots, the fucking Terminator scenario, way better than fucking Jeffrey Epstein. So fuck Jeffrey Epstein too. Fuck Ghislaine Maxwell. Fuck anybody who gets named or never gets named. Fuck them all.
And fuck AI art. No.
Yeah. Fuck AI art. Clint, you really just need to drive that home. Hey, listen, people watched those clips. People really resonated with your opinion. People resonated.
Right. Bro, it's so crazy because we hit it right at that point though, where that everybody was like spending money on that little app to like, and then they were just doing, just filters.
It was a little bit before that. Yeah, we were on that wave, but
yeah, but I mean, it's just funny how that shit hit. But like again, notice in those conversations online when people started arguing about it, I was like, I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna. This isn't, it's like whatever. Like, I'm not gonna play into the fucking game.
It's
somebody
funny.
wants me to talk about this right now, and I'm not gonna talk about it.
You and I both will do that. We'll have an opinion, and then we'll get to a point in our opinion where we're like, I don't care anymore.
Well,
I thought enough about this, and I don't like thinking about it, so I'm gonna stop.
But like, it just comes to the point where it's like, I'm not going to change anybody's mind.
Yeah, right. Nothing's going to change. I have an opinion, but who cares?
But the worst part about it is like, it's not even about art and artists and anything. It's just like, you're just arguing over the fact that you just sold a bunch of pictures of your face to a corporation that's just going to like take that, and that now they just own pictures of your face. Like,
who's
it's like
the fucking Debbie Downer now?
I know, but it's just like, that's all it is. Like, yeah, what am I going to do? Yeah, here come Clint and James party.
Fucking shit on the parade.
Yeah, they're just texting something. Just like, hey, they own that information now, right?
Oh my God. That's just what we do. I can't help it. I just can't help it.
I can't help it. The salad fork's meaningless, right?
The only thing it's good for is beheadings. Beheadings or de-eyeballing.
Yeah. You know what? I hope next year we can sit down to a nice meal together and we can just get really confused by the utensils that we have, and we'll end up sword fighting because that's how we like to have fun. Okay,
buddy, I get confused by the utensils now.
I just like chopsticks.
I'll just, hands just work. Hands, plus you pick up all the seasonings from like all the other things you touched.
Bro, that's why I like, what was that really sick like African restaurant that we used to go to in Tennessee,
in Nashville?
Yeah, it was like an old house, and it was like full on, just like it was like a family running, sit on the ground or on a little table.
I think
Dude, best meals I've ever had. We're just eating with our hands. Like,
I think,
so
yeah, for sure. I think that was Maysob. There was
There's
another one that was out by the airport, but yeah, dude, we went there all the time, and yeah, for sure. I mean, that definitely does add an element to it. Like when you're sitting there eating with your hands.
And that's family style.
Yeah, it is.
I don't need Fabergé eggs and all the drama about my blood being pure. I just want to take some kind of carb and then dip it into tasty things and put it in my mouth. And then talk about how dumb everybody else is.
Of all the things that the kings and queens have, the Fabergé egg is a weird thing for you to immediately zero in on. Let's unpack that a little bit. How the fuck do you know about that? First of all. Second of all,
oh wait, you don't think I know about things?
I would not peg you as a person who, especially someone who says they don't give a shit about royals or the royal family, to know the fucking Fabergé eggs.
If it's art adjacent, I might know something about it.
Oh, okay.
So because that was handcrafted.
Oh, right. Artisanal. Right. Okay.
I mean, I've always wanted to see what's inside it though. Like make a Fabergé egg omelet.
that would be the most tasteless, personality-less omelet of all time. You'd crack it in and go, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I'm going to taste terrible."
But that's like, then I turn into one of those people that like eats gold and like tells you it's like, "Hey man, just put a little bit in every meal," and I swear to God, it just. Do you believe in that?
Like eating gold.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. I read there's a bunch of people who talk about eating gold. I don't know how I feel about just eating straight gold or even flake or leaf gold, which would just be like super thin, easily dissolvable metal. But I mean, look, there's irons in our blood. Like there are other metals in our body in the foods that we consume that are beneficial to us. It's just honestly one of the most ostentatious goddamn things I've ever heard in my life. I'm going to eat gold. I'm going to eat fucking gold. People in this world, not everyone in this world has access to water, and there's assholes out here wrapping their steaks in gold leaf. It's just a level of opulence that's just unnecessary completely.
Yeah. And I think that's what it's about. And I know we're done, ripping on the fucking royal family, I guess. But like,
no, I mean, fuck them. Okay, we can keep going. But
anybody that gets to that level of like wealth that just hoards it and doesn't do anything, you're not of the people. You're not for the people. You know what I mean?
For yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. You're for your fucking self. And that goes into levels that aren't even royalty, right? It's
well,
like,
and again,
they don't have like, so you have like 7 cars. It's like, dude, like you could honestly help people. But
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I would be less pissed at a rich asshole who is a rich asshole and doesn't pretend like they're an altruistic, benefit to society than the asshole who spends great time and money and effort making the appearance that they're doing good when they're actually a piece of shit. I don't know what it is. Like I would rather an uncomfortable truth than a comfortable lie any day.
I don't know. I'm not over here trying to count other people's money.
It's exactly my point. And however you got that money, whether it's clean, whether you can live with how you got it, that's all on you. But don't give me this like celebrities flying their private jets to global climate change conferences, right? Like, don't lecture me, buddy. You just flew a private jet.
I'm not gonna lie. That sounds lit as fuck, though.
It's well, of course, it's baller as hell. And I wouldn't care if they were going to the climate destruction convention. I wouldn't care at all. I'd be like, that's on brand. Like, great. That's genius marketing. But to take your private jet and whatever other, like staying at your 5-star hotel and taking your ridiculously long shower and only drinking out of your fucking Starbucks, like whatever wasteful fucking shithead behavior, but you're going to a fucking global climate change conference to lecture me on how I need to do my part. That's, again, it's just like the duplicity, like,
it's all over. It's all over.
This is what I'm saying. We're doomed. Okay. And that's okay. It's okay.
I don't trust any organization that's larger than a band, and even those, like, there's always
dude, it can go. Yeah, seriously, that those can change rapidly too, and doesn't even need to be a whole inbred family. But it could be a whole inbred family, which is,
and that's how we have Guar. No.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure there's a couple other bands. Maybe the Allman Brothers. That's how the Allman Brothers became a band, right? Leonard Skinner too, right? Yeah, sure, for sure.
Except like the 4th iteration of the Allman Brothers are going to be so deformed he can't like play guitar.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But he won't have to. They'll still get big because they can just play 10-second clips on TikTok, and that's it.
Yeah, they won't need to play the whole song, just 10 seconds of the song.
Well, I think we got enough good 10-second clips out of this show. What do you think?
Yeah, we're fucking good here. We're done here. So I just want to say thank you to the 2 people that were watching this, or maybe it was 1. They've left. They just left. They just left. I was
I
saying
can't even
that.
see it, so cool.
It's all good. It doesn't matter. But we're good here. We'll see you guys next week, and we'll talk about something even dumber. I can guarantee you that. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next week.